Welcome to Aptitude for Placements, and my name is Ranjit. I have conducted this aptitude training program at various engineering colleges all over India, and every year thousands of students get placed by attending this aptitude training program. Here you will find all the questions that are commonly encountered in most of the aptitude tests. These are the questions that keep on repeating in many of these tests. So just familiarize yourself with all these questions and you will have a clear advantage when you attempt your actual placement test. Let's start. A batsman has completed 10 innings and his average is 18 runs. So initially he has played 10 innings and his average is 18. So first of all we will calculate the total runs that he made in the first 10 innings. Now that can be obtained from the basic formula. Basic formula is like this. Some numbers are there and their average is obtained as sum of all the numbers divided by number of numbers. So this is the basic formula. Average of some numbers is given as their total sum by number of numbers. So you can also write like this. The sum of the numbers is equal to number of numbers, I'll just write it as n, into their average a. So number of numbers n into their average a gives you the total sum. So the total number of runs that he made in the 10 innings can be calculated like this. Number of innings n is equal to 10 into their average 18. This gives you the sum of all the runs that he made in the first 10 innings. So 10 numbers are there, 10 innings into their average 18, their total sum is 180. So 180 is what he made in the first 10 innings. Now the question is, how many runs should he make in his next innings? The next innings will be the 11th innings. Initially he has played 10 innings. The next innings will be the 11th innings. How many runs should he make in his next innings so as to increase his average to 20? So in the first 10 innings he has made 180. Now in the next innings, that is 11th innings, we will assume that he scores X. So this will be the total that he made in the first 11 innings. So total number of runs by number of innings is 11 and this average should be 20. So we'll just solve this. We'll just calculate the value of X. So 180 plus X is equal to 11 into 20. 11 into 2 is 22, into 10 is 220. So X you will get it as 220 minus 180, X is equal to 40. So X is what he made in his 11th innings, that is the next innings. So he should make 40 runs so that his average will become 20. So how many runs should he make in his next innings? He should make 40 runs, option A. A batsman has completed 7 innings and his average is 30. So initially he has played 7 innings and his average is 30 runs. So first of all we'll find out the total runs that he makes in the first 7 innings. Now that can be calculated using the basic formula. Some numbers are there and the basic formula says the average of these numbers is given as sum of all the numbers, you add up all the numbers divided by number of numbers. So this is a basic formula. From this you will get their total sum is equal to number of numbers, I'll just write it as n, into their average a. So the total sum of all the numbers is obtained as number of numbers n into their average a. So this gives you the total sum. So initially he has played 7 innings, so number of innings is 7 into their average is 30. Into their average is 30. This gives you the total sum. Number of numbers is 7 into their average 30. So the total sum is obtained as 7 into 3, 21 into 10, 210. So 210 is the total runs that he has made in the first 7 innings. Now the question is, how many runs should he make in his next innings? His next innings will be the 8th innings. Initially he has played 7 innings. Next innings will be the 8th innings. So how many runs should he make in his next innings so as to increase his average to 31? So we'll form the equation. In the first 7 innings, he has made altogether 210. Now we will assume that he makes X runs in his next innings, that is the 8th innings. So total runs divided by number of innings is 8, and this average should be 31. So we'll just solve and calculate the value of X. So 210 plus X is equal to 31 into 8. So 210 plus X is equal to 31 into 8. 8 into 30 is 240, plus 8 gives you 248. So X you will get it as 248 minus 210, that is you will get it as 38. So that is the value of X, and X is what he makes in his 8th innings. So he has to make 38 runs. Then his average will be 31. So how many runs should he make in his next innings? He should make 38 runs, option C. A batsman has completed 15 innings and his average is 20. So first of all, we'll find out the total runs that he made in the first 15 innings. Now that can be calculated using the basic formula. Basic formula is like this. Some numbers are there and their average is given as sum of all the numbers divided by number of numbers. So this is a basic equation. So this can also be written like this. Sum of all the numbers, that is obtained as number of numbers, I'll write it as n, into their average a. So the total sum of all the numbers is number of numbers n into their average a. So the basic formula can be written like this also. 15 innings have been played and their average is 20. So the total runs that he has made, total sum is equal to 15 innings. Number of innings is 15 into their average is 20. So 15 into 20, altogether he has made 300 runs. So this is what he has totally made in the first 15 innings. Now the question is, how many runs should he make in his next innings? His next innings will be the 16th innings. Because initially he has already played 15 innings, next one will be the 16th innings, so as to increase his average to 25. So we'll form the equation like that. So initially he has made 300 runs. We will assume that he makes X runs in his next innings, that is the 16th innings. So total runs by number of innings is 16 and this average should be equal to 25. So we'll just solve this. So 300 plus X is equal to 16 into 25. So 300 plus X is equal to 16 into 25. 4 into 25, 100. 100 into 4 gives you 400. So X you will get it as 400 minus 300. X you will get it as 100. So X is the number of runs he should score in his next innings. So how many runs should he make in his next innings? That is X. X is equal to 100 runs. So option C, 100. The average of 5 numbers is 20. So 5 numbers are there. I'll just represent them as N1, N2, N3, N4 and N5. So these are the 5 numbers. Their average is 20. So first of all, we'll calculate their total sum. So 5 numbers are there. So 5 numbers into their average is 20. So their total sum is 100. So if you add up all the 5 numbers, the total sum will be 100. 5 numbers into their average, 5 into 20, total sum is 100. The average of the first 3 of these numbers is 15. So if you add up the first 3, their total sum will be 3 numbers into their average is 15. So their total sum is 45. And the average of the last 3 of these numbers is 30. So if you add up the last 3, that is N3, N4 and N5, if you add up the last 3, their sum is 3 numbers are there, into their average is 30, so you will get it as 90. Now if you add up the first 3 and the last 3, the total will be 45 plus this 90. So you will get it as 135. Now that you can see is 35 more than their actual sum. Their actual sum is 100. 5 numbers into their average 20, 5 into 20, their actual sum is only 100. But if you add up the first 3 and the last 3, then their total sum will be 45 plus 90 is 135. So you can see that the sum is 35 more. Now why is it 35 more? Because n3, the third number, has been added twice. That is why you will get it as 35 more. So n3, the third number, has to be 35. So identify the third number, it has to be 35, option D. The average of 7 numbers is 10. So altogether 7 numbers are there. I'll take the numbers as n1, n2, n3, n4, n5, n6 and n7. So these are the 7 numbers. So first of all, we'll calculate their total sum. 7 numbers are there and their average is 10. So 7 numbers into their average 10, their total sum is 70. So if you add up the 7 numbers, their total sum is 70. The average of the first 4 of these numbers is 8. So if you add up the first 4, their total sum is 4 numbers into their average 8. So that you will get it as 32. That is the sum of the first 4 numbers. And the average of the last 4 of these numbers is 12. So if you add up the last 4 of them, that is n4 plus n5 plus n6 plus n7, 4 numbers into their average is 12, you will get it as 48. If you add up the first 4 and the last 4, their total sum will be obtained as 32 plus 48. So that you will get it as 80. And you can see that it is 10 more than their actual sum. Their actual sum is only 7 numbers into their average 10, 70. But if you add up the first 4 and the last 4, you will get it as 80, that is 10 more. Now why is it 10 more? Because n4, the fourth number, has been added twice. That is why it is 10 more. So identify the fourth number. The fourth number n4 has to be 10. So option D, 10. Let me briefly explain how to prepare for your aptitude test. First of all, you need to familiarize yourself with all the questions that have been worked out here. These are the questions that keep on repeating in many of the aptitude tests. After that, you need to attempt practice tests. According to me, you need to attempt at least 10 practice tests before your actual placement test. Here, I will be giving you 10 practice tests, and these practice tests will be ideal for you to improve your test scores. The 10 practice tests are available at a cost of only Rs 200. So all that you need to do is make a payment of Rs 200, either through Google Pay or through PhonePe or through Paytm, and you will receive the 10 practice tests. The details of the payment comes next.